obviously not always happens, but when you breathe like one particular thing in the family, no, at the end you're kind of into it, no, immediately you get it, no. So it's many times happens, no. Maybe you have your father that is an electrician, and the son ended up making the same job because he always followed his father into in his work, and and sometimes sons are even proud of what their parents does. So, but in my case, my father always wanted us to know music, to study music, but never he wanted us to be music like our job, because he knows what music industry is about. He knows how challenging it is, and so he never suggested us. That's the thing that I always say now, because sometimes people think he sings because his father wanted him to sing, and that's totally wrong. Because when I told him that was my the dream that I was chasing, he was like, "Are you sure?" So he was kind of like worried for me, So it's definitely 100% been my choice. Remember, that was a present from my father, so that it was like from this mappamondo. I don't know how you call it in
globus.
Globus.
We call it globus.
You'll be able to see where your father is. So this is a very famous Italian singer-songwriter, Zucchero. And actually there's a beautiful story behind him and my father, because actually my father kind of became famous also thanks to him, because briefly back in the days he wrote a song called Miserere, and that song was written to be sung by Zucchero and Pavarotti. And Zucchero had to make a demo, but he couldn't sing opera. So he was at the studio and he was like, I need an operatic voice. And a few months before, my father went to that studio to record a CD, but just for himself, not to be released, because he was still the piano bar singer. And so Zucchero went to New York with this CD, and he played it to Pavarotti. And Pavarotti was, are you kidding me? This voice already sounds incredible, and you want me on the record. So at the end, Zucchero convinced Pavarotti in singing the song Miserere, but obviously Zucchero couldn't have Pavarotti during his concert. So Zucchero started to call my father to perform Miserere in his shows, and those has been the first success of my father, because people were like going crazy. And so in that picture, it was me and Zucchero, and it was probably a month ago. I was opening one of his concerts in Rosenheim in Germany.
You're made for pictures.
My situation, but no, that's been actually an incredible experience, because obviously I was born, yes, in a family that was used to TVs, concerts, but I never experienced the movie industry, and thanks to George Miller, that is the director of the movie, and I had the honor to be part of one of his movies. It's called 3,000 Years of Longing, and I flew to Australia to shoot this part in his movie, and I have to say that it's been one of the most exciting things I ever done in my life. It's really something incredible that it's tough to explain, because suddenly you are in a Hollywood like studio with famous actors like Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton. So it was definitely like a super experience.
To rodzinny pies.
This is Jolie,
Jolie.
our new dog, like our last dog.
Ale to jest nasz ostatni pies.
Actually,
Jolie like in French?
Jolie, see, because I don't know how much we could say this story, but it was an abandoned dog, a dog found on the street outside this hotel called Jolie, and so that's why we named
After the hotel,
yeah. After finding her outside this hotel, but and so we called like a doctor that checked her, and then we made her, you know, all the vaccine that you must do for every dog, and now she's with us. But she was very little. She was probably like 1 month on the streets and with no owner, you know, and we took her.
Rodriguez pyta tak. If you had the chance to create a song dedicated to your mother, what title would you give it?
Sorry?
If you had a chance to create a song dedicated to your mother, what title would you give it?
This is a good question, even because there's already a beautiful song that I'm used to dedicate to my mom that goes, Mamma, solo per te la mia canzone vola. And so I always thought, you know, after that masterpiece, because it's truly like a beautiful piece of music, usually when I have to dedicate her a song, I sing for her this one.
When you take time off, where do you enjoy going?
This will sound strange and funny, but I travel so much, especially also like since I was a little kid, that my free time usually is always at home with friends. It's a question that we have to make to labels, no? Because they choose.
But you know the additional songs, yeah?
No, I know.
They're yours.
No, I know the additional songs. Let's say that there's been like a project only for Germany. So I flew to Germany and I worked with this producer, Christian Geller, and so we made these 2 songs, and we loved them, and we decided to give them for the German market, but you know, everyone is free to listen to the song. Oh, I love football, and my family is very much into football, and it could somehow reflect into the album in the sense that it brings a lot of joy to us. I know it to many people may sound you know, stupid, but I think it's you know, football sometimes it's even like a beautiful way to, you know, to feel like close and together. I have beautiful memories not only of the club I follow, Inter Milan, but also of, you know, the Italian team, and I think it's always either if you win it's better, but either you win or you lose. It's, you know, it's I think it's beautiful to be all together, you know, in front of a TV, and you know, there's a sense of community and I don't know, like being together. I think it's very beautiful. That's something that I would love to do, but I feel like it's very tough. But who knows? Like for Follow Me, I remember I performed that song in 7-8 languages. Unfortunately, not in Polish, but if I don't know if there'll be the chance to learn one, why not?
I'm sorry. So the thing is, there are some strange, maybe even a little bit stupid questions here. So maybe you can pick up one and then try to answer.
I hope you didn't make it hard.
But first, read the question.
What is the name of the pizza with ham and pineapple in Poland?
Would you try something like this?
Honestly, luckily, because you know I'm a big fan of food and I like to try and experiment everything, because as you may know, for Italians, ham and pineapple doesn't go well together. But I remember that I found once this pizza on a menu and was called, if I'm not wrong, Hawaii.
Hawajska, yes.
Hawaii.
Hawaiian,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried.
And?
It's okay.
I było dobrze, było całkiem dobrze. Okay, so maybe another one.
Okay. Do you know what is the name of the creature inhabiting the dungeons of the royal castle in Krakow?
You've been in Kraków, and there's a legend of...
I've been in Krakow, and if there's a reason why I know this answer, it's because once I've been in Krakow with my sister as well, and you know this is the typical thing that people tells to the kids, no, like the legends, and I remember it was a dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Of Wawel, so smok wawelski
okay.
in Polish. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So I have no more questions for you. I mean, I have, but we have no more time.
Okay.
So bardzo dziękuję. Thank you very
Dziękuję.
much for being our guest.
Grazie a
Dziękuję.
voi.
I do zobaczenia. See you
See you.
again in Poland. W październiku.
Ciao.
Ciao! Matteo Bocelli był naszym gościem, proszę Państwa. Oto on. Do zobaczenia.